That's crazy.
So he made his pitch to you?
Yeah, the same thing as yours. What are your initial thoughts?
He makes good arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it, he makes a good argument.
Yeah.
But my concern is the exposure right off the hop.
Right.
And I don't know if it's too early for that.
No, because once we do that,
If we don't expose it now, we're hiding it for another week.
right.
And I don't know if the exposure, like being exposed, is worth that.
Yeah, and even if it isn't like our specific six, it is showing.
still-
It's showing something. Yeah.
It's still a, like
It's pretty much the same. It's just
majority.
Tara instead of Beth.
Exactly.
It's pretty much our exact six.
right? So he's obviously thinking, in order for him to pinpoint those specific people, he's obviously thinking, he has some train of thought that maybe these people are working together.
Those other people. The Kyle, Rowe, Austin.
No, I know, but he's targeting, the conversations he wanted to have today was everybody in our lines with the exception of Tara
Right,
and Beth.
right.
So in his mind, does he think that that is a group that is formed?
Right.
And if that's the case, is that dangerous keeping him in the house because he has the majority of the people right?
Right.
That's my concern.
Right.
He makes great valid arguments, but does he observe and know more than he's letting on?
Right. I think he does. Because why else would he pick every single person?
Exactly.
Our lines.
Exactly. And is that dangerous for us, leaving him in the house?
I think it could be because he can blow it up.
Oh, big time.
If ever he was, like he's saying that he's fine with being the pawn and being this and that, but if he's ever in that situation
We know
again,
how
yeah.
he's been like this.
If he gets emotional, how do we know that he's not going to be like, well, I made a final seven with boom, 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 boom.
We're fucked.
We're fucked if that happens.
So
that's-
I don't know if I'm like, you know, I played along with him when he was talking, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, you make some great points, blah, blah, blah. But that's the concern. I don't want to blow up
I didn't even
what
think-
we have right now.
Right. I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it is either, to be quite honest with you.
Because, like, I still feel like,
I find it so odd that he picked those specific people.
me too. And I asked him why he picked those people. And they're kind of bullshit reasons. It was like, you and Ty are strong. Tina and Tara are nice to me. And Latoya's a badass. And I'm like, that's super random.
But to have the majority of them right?
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Even if he's not on that train of thought, he could still potentially say that those are the people that,
You can put it together.
like, we'd be blowing it up, I think.
Yeah. And like, he's kind of pitching it like he'll be protecting us, but really we'll be protecting him.
Exactly.
It's literally like having our six protect him and bring him as a seven.
I mean, he's smart.
He's smart.
He's definitely smart doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm afraid that it's going to expose us. It's
Yeah.
too early to get exposed.
I think our six is stronger than what he's proposing.
Yeah,
The one that we have is stronger than that.
I agree.
And it's low risk because people don't see it. And if we vote that way right now, everyone's gonna be
That's
like,
it.
what the
It's
fuck?
exposed.
Exactly. 100%.
So I don't think it's worth that
No, I don't think so.
because, you know, if we get one of us the HOH this week, then we can hide it again for another little while.
So where do you usually go, like when you're in, is it,
No, it's not that.
I was about to pull it out. If that was anyone else, I was gonna be like, so where do you usually party in Newfoundland?
Yeah, what's your favorite drink? That's hilarious.
I got topics ready all the time, all the time.
You gotta have a throwout, right?
Fuck.
But that's my concern. I really don't think it's too early for us to get exposed.
Yeah, I agree.
Way too early.
Yeah, like it was tempting, but then like in the back of my head, I was like, I think I have a better chance getting top 6 with us than I do with him.
Oh yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? And,
For
like,
sure. He does make a valid point about stringing him along and
Yeah.
the fact that he's always going to be put up, which means you only have to come up with one other person,
Right.
which is easier on the front end of the game.
Right.
But it's too early to expose. It really is.
Yeah, like if this was like next week, maybe, but like
Yeah.
he's just put himself in such a bad position that like no one would understand why we kept him. you
That's
know,
right.
Unless
And
we
you-
had something with him.
Yeah,
And
and
that'd be
you
the
never-
most obvious thing ever. It'd be like, why would you keep him if you didn't cut a deal with him and then we're a target?
That's right.
You know?
And then and then not only that, if the teams dissolve, myself and Tara, well, Tara's, but I would be in a big position on my team because I would have flipped,
Right. You would have been the yeah.
and then I would have been fucked.
So obvious.
So it's no good for me at all.
That's not good for you at all. That's not good. No.
But I just think the exposure to me right now is just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
No.
It would only be worth it if we were willing to completely show our cards and just be against the house
Exactly.
for the rest of the way.
And that's like we all have relationships outside of our 6, which is what we want to keep
Yeah.
because we can sway certain votes.
Yeah. But once we do that, we have
We're
none
fucked.
of those. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
everyone.
Then you're cutting it, and then that side is going to take over, and then it's just going to be this. Whoever gets
Whoever
HOH
wins,
back
yeah,
and forth,
exactly.
and that's it. It's too early for that.
No, yeah, it's too early for that. Fuck that.
So
I entertained it for a second, but I was like, no, I don't think it's worth it.
no. I mean, I'm sure we'll be mulling thoughts throughout the day and stuff and all
Yeah.
that, right? But
But I
that's
know,
where
like-
my head's at.
Yeah, I agree. And like Latoya kind of came up and was like it's a good thing. Like before I even heard about it, she was like, you guys need to hear it out. Like it's really good for you, Ty. I don't really understand why it's specifically good for Ty. But I don't know. But she seemed like she was kind of feeding into it a bit.
Yeah.
But like even after that, after I haven't even heard him yet, I told her, I was like, I really just don't trust him at all. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't said your name multiple times, he has said mine. And it's hard to trust somebody after that. Like I don't really believe him.
And that's the thing, too. Like, as soon as you do that, every one of us are targets
Yeah.
for that other side
Oh,
of the
yeah.
house.
Oh, yeah.
Austin's going to be pissed. Everyone's going to, like, it's not worth it.
That's like a direct shot at Austin,
Yeah.
keeping him here because
Exactly.
everyone knows that
He's gonna
going
go after her.
So that's technically
Which means we're saying, hey, we're with Josh.
go after her. Yeah,
No, and I'm not down with that right now. Right?
because that means Braden is pissed now too, and that's 2 people against us
Exactly.
that we wanted as swing votes on our side.
Yep. Yep. And they've been telling me that they like me and blah blah blah. Now, I mean, it's gonna be all a bunch of fucking BS. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But it's just you can
But if you give him
you
a
have
reason-
something to work with there, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to give them any kind of reason to cut that off.
Exactly.
And that's a full reason by voting that way.
Big
and
time.
they can count. They'll know who voted for him.
Oh, big time. It's not going to be difficult to figure out.
Yeah.
So you haven't talked to Ty yet? Has Josh?
Ty's the last one to have to talk to him.
Okay. So I'm sure you and Ty will chat at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Ty, but I'm gonna tell him. Like even before.
Just thinking logically, long term, it's the longer we can keep this a secret, the better.
Because right now no one knows.
Not a fucking clue.
We got Kiefer in the fake alliance with Ro and Kyle. We got you chilling with like the Taras and the
Right.
Bradens of the world in Austin.
Even Ro and Kyle are starting to kind of approach me.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to rope you in.
Hey,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Good.
Rope away.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeehaw.
That's what we were saying. We're like, we hope they don't take her.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm solid to the same.
That's the best. No, I think like there's so much more strength and lower risk just like sticking with what we originally had.
Big time.
Right when he presented that.
That's the problem with a lot of alliances. They start
They just
teetering
flake in,
outside,
yeah.
and it's like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
You just have to put the trust in the people you're with.
100%. If we stay completely solid,
Yep.
we're going all the way, I swear.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to start making side alliances like that. A
No.
7, like
No, it just doesn't make sense.
with a wild card. Like I don't like that.
No.
No. And I just don't trust, like, I really just don't trust that he would target Austin.
No.
I think it would be.
Yeah, and I honestly think that he's the type that would want to make a big move. And that's not good for our game.
No. Especially if we're seen to be aligned with him and then he starts making all these crazy moves.
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
No, I don't want to be associated with that.
no. So, yeah, it's the exposure I'm concerned about. All right, well, good.
All right, cool.
I'm glad we're all
Good.
good there.
Sounds good.
I'll try and get Latoya in on a
Okay.
conversation later
I'll talk
too.
to Ty after.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Steve.